Natasha Owiti. Former head of public service Francis Muthaura recently ignited a political storm when he suggested that Kenya should consider reverting back to the model of a coalition government akin to that formed by retired President Mwai Kibaki and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to diffuse political tensions associated with the disputed 2007 presidential election. But what might have informed Muthaura's surprise suggestion to the Building Bridges initiative, and how practical is it? KTN Political Affairs reporter Moremi Mwangi begins our broadcast tonight.
As bitter rivals, retired President Mwai Kibaki and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga made final reflections on events following their bloody 2007 presidential face-off in the company of their chief mediator, the late Kofi Annan, on the 27th of February 2008. Just outside the room on these steps of Harambee House, this man, Ambassador Francis Muthaura, might have been unaware that this red carpet being rolled up in front of him would come to symbolize the burden he would almost single-handedly shoulder for 5 years following the Raila Kibaki marriage of convenience, famous as Nusu Mkeka. But with the country still at political crossroads 11 years later, unsure what constitutional route guarantees peace after presidential polls,
ideological.
Muthaura now says it is about time the country amended the constitution to make it mandatory for the winning presidential candidate to pick whoever emerges second as prime minister.
For us, the number one is unity. Other things come second. In a lot of countries, quite a few countries actually, they guarantee even other parties proportionate number of cabinet posts.
Muthaura was giving his views before the Building Bridges team, which is due to present a final report to President Uhuru Kenyatta and Odinga, who jointly co-picked the task force after their March 2018 ceasefire deal.
The people who are bashing
and the suggestion of the former head of public service now has the backing of Ford Kenya leader Moses Wetangula, who sat with Muthaura in cabinet during the chaotic days of the Kibaki-Raila coalition government.
This creates a situation where the president must, as of constitutional requirement, work with the opposition, must console the opposition, and must give them a position where they become equally responsible for the stability and the future of the country. Perhaps such an innovation is worth thinking about.
I hope you will take this proposal. I'm doing it as a person who has served in the cabinet for 10 years, almost 10 years. And somebody who has been in government for more than 40 years.
Mtu akishindwa kura ya urais, akuwe kiongozi wa upinzani. Na ukikuwa kiongozi wa upinzani sio kusema ni kazi mbaya. Hiyo ni kazi nzuri, kwa sababu hiyo ni kazi ya kukosoa serikali ambayo itakuwa mamlakani.
In every 5 years, our economy works only 3 years. Sometimes as you go to elections, you engage a reverse gear way past where you started in the term that you are ending. We don't want a country to move like that.
There is nothing to stop the government.
The BBI team, co-chaired by Garissa Senator Yusuf Haji and political scientist Dr. Adam Zolo, has a deadline of October this year. And with most speakers rooting for an expanded executive to accommodate a prime minister as a strategy to deflate the heat from future presidential polls, the country could be headed to a likely referendum.
We have been classified by the UN
as pundits digest Muthaura's suggestion for a Nusu Mkeka comeback.